We are live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, A'Marie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Thank you so much for rescheduling. I know we were supposed to get together on Wednesday, and every Wednesday, what we do is we bring entrepreneurs that are winning in their particular industry. I've been following you for a while, but for my listeners who is first time seeing you or hearing from you, can you go ahead and give yourself a brief description?
I would say that at this point, I have completely found my niche. I feel like when you even approached me probably a year ago at this point, I
Yeah.
wasn't mentally ready. I wasn't ready. I had imposter syndrome to the max last year, so that I left that in 2022. But I am a
Good.
funding architect for business owners. I hone on strategies to use OPM, which for the listeners, that means other people's money, using credit strategies, generational wealth strategies, passive income strategies, basically using other people's money, business owners being able to fund their dreams.
Right, absolutely. So, how long have you been doing this?
Just under 2 years.
Okay, sounds good. So, for everybody that's listening, I just literally came from the gym, had to hop on Life of an Entrepreneur, right? So, I
Yes,
didn't have
real
time
life
to
of
do
an entrepreneur.
makeup and they my listeners know me. I always am raw. So, sometimes you see me with makeup, sometimes you may not.
I
Sometimes
love
you
it
see me
though. I
dressed up,
love it.
and
Authentic.
sometimes you may not. I have to be authentic, right? So, I can't be the person that's always showing up with makeup because the moment you see me without makeup, you're gonna be like, oh my God, who is that? I always see her so polished and prepped, and that's not me. So this is Jim Dricka dropping in today.
This is done up, A'Marie, because I usually come on with my hair looking a mess, no makeup. I didn't really know what to expect. So
Yeah,
it came
good.
very
No
natural.
problem. So tell everybody like what was your experience like transitioning from did you ever work in the corporate world or did you just jump into entrepreneurship straight off the bat?
Yeah, I've always had a corporate 9 to 5. The benefits, and I feel like that's what we're taught. You're supposed to get a
It
job,
is. It is.
get a job. And yeah, I've always had a corporate 9 to 5, very good pay. I do want to say that I have no degree, but I feel like that does not matter anymore. It's about who you know. I really feel like my network is my net worth.
It is. It is. It absolutely is. First of all, I want a piece of something that you just said was what we're taught. We're taught to get a job, retire, get a degree, all of those things. None of that
401k,
matters.
yeah.
None of that matters anymore. I have degrees, right? But I still find myself in rooms with genius people that don't have degrees, right? I find myself being placed in positions around people and also helping people that don't have degrees. If you are willing to put your foot down and put the work in and gain the knowledge for a skill, you can always win. It's not always about a piece of paper, a degree, or a job, or whatever your salary is. If you are working a job, we're not the people that's telling you quit your job, but we are the ones telling you to go after your dreams. We are the ones telling you to leverage other people's money. We are the ones telling you get your credit together and showing you how to get your credit together. We are the ones telling you about funding. I feel like everybody wants to jump into entrepreneurship, one, and two, look for funding because the internet makes it look like, oh, it's so easy to get funding. Just get an LLC, just get just get an
If
LLC
only
and
they
get a bank
knew.
account. So kind of tell us, drop a couple of gems on us about funding and how to properly structure your business to get funding. And it's not just roll over, wake up and get funding tomorrow, you're going to get a G-Wagon.
Yeah, the first thing I'm going to touch on is your personal credit is everything. I
Mm-hmm.
know that all these people on the internet are telling you no PG, no PG. But the reality of it is, if you think about it, when you registered your business, you used your social security number under the IRS, right or wrong.
Absolutely.
So no matter what, you're PGing everything, whether you think you aren't or you are, you are. If you don't have any plans on paying your bills, you should not get into any type of business credit. It is not a get rich scheme. It is a simple strategy that business owners use to leverage OPM and get the most out of their business funding.
Absolutely. So, what would you say would be one of the first steps for a new entrepreneur a new entrepreneur that knows nothing about business credit, knows nothing about OPM, it's their first time just hearing both of us talk about all of these things, and they may be getting intimidated, like, oh my God, I gotta do another step in my business. What advice would you give them?
Well, the first thing I would say is to grab my book series. I just
Mhm.
dropped it. If you buy them together, it's 20% off. I'll be sure to make sure I get that to Dricka to get that link. But I
Yeah,
do
I
break
can put it
it
in the show
down
notes.
to I feel like the thing is everyone says common sense is not so common, but the
It's
thing
not.
is common sense is really what you understand. So, what I've
Mhm.
learned teaching people, mentoring, coaching people is for people that don't understand, you have to break it down to a level of almost elementary. We have to go back to the foundation and break it down to a
Yes.
level that anyone could understand. Structure is number one in business credit. If you are not structured properly, it doesn't matter. Anybody can get approved. I just want to put that out there, but it's the high limit approvals that matter. It's the high limit approvals that are going to get you places. You know, getting $1,000, getting $500, you want to say, you know, congratulations, because at least you did something. But it's
Right.
structure that means everything. Making sure that you have a business phone number, a business email, a business website. You want to make sure everything is business, because at the end of the day, you are applying for business applications. I say keep everything separate. Business is business, personal is personal. So if you're filling out a business application, you should have a corporate address, you should have a business email, business website, business phone number. And that's just the start.
That's
I
just
do
the
break it
start, the
down in my
foundation.
series though. Yeah.
Right. We not giving a master class. Y'all gotta follow. Make sure y'all follow A'Marie.
Yeah,
tell
I
them
do have
tell them what's your
Instagram,
Instagram.
A'Marie VonDeak. It's just my name, no spaces, no apostrophe. And then that name that is showing up is my name on Facebook and all of my social media handles.
Make sure y'all go and follow her. She drops gems daily. I'm in your Facebook group, I believe.
Yep,
And we've
everything
just been
business
following
credit,
each other.
everything personal credit.
Yes, absolutely. So personal credit, business credit, and funding, right? Because people
Yep.
just think that funding means grants or loans or business credit. And that's not all funding is for you. It's also things that you can leverage. If you have a piece of commercial property, right, that you can refinance, that's giving you more money in your pocket, that's giving you lower interest rates. It's so many different.
That's your niche. Mhm.
There's so many different things that you guys can do. Leveraging your business credit, you can get into corporate leasing. Me and my husband have about 6 corporate leasing units around the world, that we actually own and operate. Last year was our first year getting in the industry, and we already hit 6 figures because we went into it with strategy. Right?
Congratulations.
We went into it with, thank you. We went into it with strategy. We went into it with the right coaches leading us. We went into it knowing, okay, this income is going to replace one of the incomes that we just retired from, which was my bakery. Right? So I dabble in a lot of things. What am I known for? Handling business. So it's not one particular industry for me, right? I'm not just in the bakery industry. I'm not just in the tax industry. I'm not just in the funding industry, right? I'm in different industries, but people know me for handling business and building sustainable businesses, right? And so also making connections. I make connections with dope people all the time. Our podcast airs every single week, right? So I'm always looking for new people that are coming in with innovative strategies to help you guys, right? I get so many questions, so many DMs, so many consultations that are booked, and people just want to get direction. You said something when we first started where you had imposter syndrome. What was it that made you realize, hey, I have imposter syndrome? I'm just hopping on this bandwagon, hopping on that bandwagon, jumping in this masterclass. What made you realize, wait, let me stop and figure out who I am and what I need to be doing and bring it to the table?
I would say a lot of it is your energy around you. And I really, really mean that. From the people that you surround yourself with daily, you need to make sure that you are not the smartest person in the room.
Hmm.
Mindset is everything in the success of entrepreneurship. I'm speaking that from experience. I've been
Mhm.
through a lot. We've all had a sad story. But the truth of the matter is, nobody cares till you did it. And you got to pick yourself up. You're your own cheerleader. That's why I said it's really mindset. And then you have to get everybody out of your kitchen. One of my branding expert told me you got to get all your cooks out of your kitchen.
Yep.
So, you really got to make sure you are influenced and surrounded by positive energy. making sure that people uplift you, inspire you, and you're able to reciprocate. In business, I would say what I've learned is it needs to be equal, reciprocated relationships.
It
Yeah,
does.
in personal life, it's a little different, because you don't learn not to take anything personally anywhere.
Mhm.
But you handle people accordingly, barely or hardly at all. And focus on you. Like I said, writing goals, strategy is everything in entrepreneurship. Everybody wants to say, how did you do it? One thing I would say is I show up as me organically,
Exactly.
authentically. And I've built a brand off of transparency, trustworthiness, honesty, and just being upfront with people, letting them know the real. And that's real respected because everybody's spending their money, but they're getting scammed, they're getting deceived, and I just want to help people.
So, question: have you ever been scammed or deceived in like investing in a program? Because I know, especially like the last few years, we had an influx of entrepreneurs come into the game, right? Come into different games, not just our lane of credit and taxes and stuff and finances, but in different industries, we had so many entrepreneurs that just came up. And
Yeah, that
I feel like a lot of them are suffering from imposter syndrome. A lot of them are getting scammed. So what was your, I know I have a story, but what was your experience in feeling like, man, I just got scammed, or man, I just feel like I wasted my money when I was trying to invest in myself? And that makes people scared to kind of invest in new people.
Yeah, I would say that this is my tip to make sure you never get scammed. Pay attention to people. Literally watch how they move on the internet. On the internet, unfortunately, everybody can be whatever they want. Okay? We all claim
Right.
to know something and they really know nothing. So, honestly, my best bet for that is start with something small, like as far as price wise, grab an ebook, a course. And ebooks are also deceptive in a way because a lot of people are just taking a cover and putting it on another cover and claiming it's theirs. So be
Uh-oh.
very careful when you buy ebooks. Make sure that if you are going to sign up for a mentorship, you're able to get on the phone with them, really ask a lot of questions. Anyone who's a scammer is going to get defensive. They're not going to want to answer your questions. They're going to want to change the topic. And I feel like everybody, scamming is again another word of perception. What does that mean to you? Yeah,
Right.
we can say we've been scammed, but the truth of the matter is if they've been deceptive, if they are charging and they aren't giving their worth, that all falls in the line of scamming. But as you learn and grow, yes, I've been scammed a lot, but I also have sat back and taken accountability of maybe I bought something and I didn't execute it. So just because you buy something and it's not to, maybe it's beginner for you, but for someone else it would be, helpful. So
Right.
you have to be careful with that word, but of course everybody has been scammed. It's a part of the game, and that's really what Facebook, social media is hustle and finesse and don't get scammed along the way.
It's a big
Yeah.
game of show and tell. And like for me, I'm focused on building wealth. So I don't really push, oh, I can help you get this type of lifestyle. You don't see my
Yeah,
lifestyle.
you don't I do organically post my life. I've always been like that.
Mhm.
But I don't try to showcase lifestyle. I don't try to sell
Right.
you a dream. I don't try to say, okay, if you do this, you're gonna end up with a Bentley. That's where we
Exactly.
fall in the category of lifestyle marketing. And hey, it works for some. It definitely works for some, but they definitely have more of the title of scammer behind them because you're not showing these people how you're doing it. You're just
Right.
showing a life with no gems, no solution.
At all. And I feel like so many people are desperate for the knowledge. And I'm not saying that all business owners are desperate or all business owners are like this, but I feel like so many entrepreneurs are just trying to find the right direction or trying to find the right way to go. And what people we do everything with our eyes. We see food, we want it, right? We see jewelry, we like, I like that too. Or we see somebody living the type of lifestyle that we desire to have. If we're not there, oh, I want that too. So I need to connect with this person. I need to follow this person and see what they're doing, but you're really not seeing exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
I
that
feel like, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no. I mean, I was just gonna say, and that goes into the category of I don't even remember what I was going to say. You I cut you off, then you cut me off. Go ahead. I'll remember.
I just feel like so many people get scammed because you catch them at a vulnerable point. And I also feel like a lot of gurus and teachers are teaching people to make sure you hit the pain points. But then when you hit the pain points and you get somebody to enroll into your program or your mentorship or buy your ebook, right? And then, like you said, they don't execute. Now they still feel like they got scammed, but now they're blaming it on you because they didn't execute. I feel like as business owners, you do have to make a conscious decision on who you're investing in. You do have to do your due diligence. I know you was on live the other day kind of talking about that like a little bit, but you definitely got to do your due diligence. Google them, see what other people have they helped, right? I've been doing development for years before I came out with a summit. I've been helping people build businesses for years before I came out with a mentorship. I've been helping people behind the scenes fix their credit. I fixed over 200 people's credit before I started charging, right? So my reputation was being built behind the scenes before the social media reels, before the TikToks, before. I'm not the person that's going to be on Instagram or TikTok dancing around to get sales. That's not me, right?
Yeah.
That's not how you build wealth. The wealthy people ain't dancing around.
No, we're
The people
working.
that's dancing
We're
around
working.
is the people that's trying to make you think that they're wealthy, right? Let's keep it real, right? We gotta lay it out on the table.
Right.
We gotta lay it out
Let's
on the
break it
table
down.
for real, because I just feel like I'm so passionate, and I feel like my passionate ways or characteristics turn some people off, and it turns some people up. It's one or the other,
Exactly. And
right?
that's
The
what
people
it
that
is.
I
I'm
turn
either
up
for
was the people
you
that's
or
ready.
I'm
The
not
people
for
that I
you.
turn off is the people that's not ready. And so for me, it made me niche down to all the people that's ready for me. Who are my target audience? Who is my avatar? Who am I talking to? Because for you, I might be talking over your head, but for the other person, I might be right on track for where they're at, right? I might be the okay, I'm gonna invest in you because I've been, bamboozled before. Maybe I wasn't in the right space before. Maybe I didn't execute. But with you, I feel like the path that you're taking, you can help me, right? You can help me get into the space that I want to get into. You asked me about Toronto. I was like, go ahead, apply. I'm not gonna say, oh no, we failed, because we not. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you're bringing something to the table, I'm not talking about credit. We've never had someone to come in and talk about credit in all 4 years, right?
Right.
So go ahead and apply. That can be something that you bring to the table. Your audience can say, man, I saw my mentor in Toronto. She brought us on this wonderful summit. We met so many different millionaires that now she's on the stage. This is her first podcast, y'all. Like, she don't even go live. She literally do everything on like her stories and her posting. When she first came to me, she was like, I did not have the branding. I did not have the headshots. And listen, don't get me wrong. And I don't want to talk too much over you, but listen, the people who have the branding and the headshots and all of that stuff, sometimes they're not working. They're making their marketing look pretty. Everything ain't gonna look pretty. Everything ain't gonna look pretty. So that's why I'm saying, like, just like I'm here right now with workout clothes on and a Nike hat, everything ain't gonna always look pretty. My bank account look pretty, right? My results look pretty. I don't care about this fake appearance that everybody wants to see. You're not gonna always catch me on the fly with my arms folded. I'm not her.
Yeah, and that's one thing I remember what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
So the main thing is a lot of people do prey off the necessity of needing it now. I had to learn that the hard way. I call it the shiny ball effect. It's when someone makes an offer that looks so good and you have FOMO, which means fear of missing out.
Yes.
And you just have to buy it, and that's bad. Make sure that whatever you buy from anyone, you're fact checking me. I want you to call me a liar until you go look it up, because I'm not here to prove anything. I do throw gems all day, especially in my Facebook group. But I would say that really the way that I've capitalized and figured this out is literally taking an idea and capitalizing off of it. I literally capitalize off of people's laziness and convenience. I have the knowledge. I give you the game all day. I give everybody plenty to go research it themselves. But the reality of it is a lot of people just want it done. They just want it done. So I'm here for that. But a lot of people want to learn it. And a lot of people aren't willing to teach it. They're gatekeepers. They're just trying to keep all the information or keep just enough so you need them. That is
come back and pay me again. Right. That's not cool. So, all right, I gotta play devil's advocate because everybody's talking about gatekeeping now. It's like the word of the year. right? And I feel
Because
like
it's real and it's sad.
certain words just rub people the wrong way. Like one year, everybody was talking about boss this, boss that. Next year, everybody was talking about financial freedom this, financial freedom that. Now we talking gatekeeping, right? And I feel like everybody's not gatekeeping, but like we said earlier, everybody's not executing either. So you might have a class of a small, I'm gonna use a small example. You can have a class of 10 and only 2 people actually execute and actually doing the work and actually get the results, right? Or you might have a larger class of 100 and only 30 of them actually executing and actually getting the results that they're looking for. That does not mean that you were gatekeeping for the other 70. They're not using what you're putting at their feet. They're not using the actual ebooks that you're giving out. They're not catching on to the gems. They're not coming on to your lives. They're not coming on to your interviews. They're not watching every single thing that you're dropping, right? They're not pulling up to class when it's time for class. They're not asking questions when you say, hey, do you have questions? They're like, no, or I was afraid to ask questions in front of all those people. What? I'm not afraid to ask questions in front of nobody. Hey, can you repeat that?
Right.
I'm all in church. Like, come on, Pastor, tell me again. Say it again so I can write it down. Go back to that scripture. I'm writing stuff down all the time, constantly, like literally in the mornings. It starts with routine. What is your routine? Is your routine to start something and quit? Is your routine to get up and keep going no matter what obstacles that you're being faced with? What is your routine? Right? What are you known for? Are you just known for just jumping into every niche industry that says you can make money, that says it's recession proof? What are you actually doing and putting out there for as your brand?
And
Right?
that's one thing I will give people advice of when you are starting this journey of entrepreneurship. You definitely, and this is a lesson to myself, you have to niche it down to one thing. You cannot be doing everything in the world. And I'm speaking from experience. I used to try to jump on all the bandwagons, I used to just try to go all over, but people won't take you serious. So you have to definitely niche it down. Mine is definitely OPM strategies. So, if it's a passive income strategy, while you were touching on the corporate leasing, that's a passive income strategy. That's a residual income strategy. So, yeah, it's definitely leveraging the OPM, and you have to niche it down because if you find yourself doing everything, you will accomplish nothing.
Exactly. And not only that, I have to get people out of the mindset of feeling like I have to have all of these different businesses or all of these different LLCs. It's mainly about actually having multiple streams of income within one business. With my well development firm and institute, we can do done for you services, or we offer the resources like the books and the courses, or we actually can teach you how to do it, right? So it's up to you. You choose your path, like you said, similar to your
Exactly.
structure, right? Your model. But people don't, like you said, people are lazy. They want it done for them, but they get impatient with the process, right? How long has it taken you? You said it's been 2 years since you've been in the industry. How many times have you gone to another class, tried another software, tried another method, tried another mentor, and it didn't work until you say, you know what am I doing wrong? I can't keep investing into these people and they leading me the wrong way. And I think I just posted maybe earlier today or yesterday about following the wrong people. When we were kids, I don't know if your parents did the same thing, but don't be a follower, right? But
Right.
now, what is the whole world doing? Following people. The whole world is following somebody else. The whole world is following everybody else. And so now it's like we're adults, but we're going backwards on what our parents taught us, right? Even though we know our parents also taught us go to school, get a job, get a degree, etc. But we're doing things differently, right? We're changing the narrative, but at the same time, some of those old remedies also work, right? So sometimes you got to get off social media if it's discouraging you. If you can't keep up with the posting 3 and 4 times a day, get what is your consistency? Get to your consistency and stay consistent with that until you're able to add more. If you're not able to showcase your family and your husband and your spouse and whatever y'all got going on, that's fine. You don't have to do that to make sales. If you're not okay with, like, it's up to you. You don't have to do what everybody else is doing to get rich. That's not your path. Is your path. You need to take your path and let it get you where you need to go.
For you.
Yeah, so that's one of the things. That also with the streams of income, like for me, I know people probably was like, how you go from bakery to accounting? I've always had an accounting degree, but at the time, bakery was my hustle, right? So I had to do what made the money at the time. The bakery was making the money. I was doing the bakery for 7 years until I hit 6 figures, right? And then I said, you know what? I'm too materially invested in this business. I need to do something more passive. Boom. I was able to jump into real estate. And I was also able to build my firm up to where I have employees. I don't have to be in the office every single day. I was the person still, I was in the office. I'm like, I'm still in the office with my team. I'm in the churches with my team. Nobody's doing that. Duh, because you're the overworked boss. Nobody don't want to do that. Nobody don't want to be in
I do not
competition
want to be
with you.
booked and busy.
I'm paid and productive now. So it
Yes.
was a pivot for me. So think about being a solopreneur, right? From being a solopreneur to actually onboarding, 1099 contractors and onboarding W-2 employees, that's a pivot. Your mindset has to pivot into that purpose. Your routine has to pivot into that purpose. You have to be more structured on being at meetings. You have to make sure your assistants are on board with everything that you have going on. They're keeping up with your calendar. They're reminding you of things that you have to do and show up to, because if not, you're gonna lose at some point. So you're thinking all of these streams are streaming, but you're not keeping up with nothing because you're so big and bad now. No. You still have to come to the round table and say, oh no, this is not selling. This is not selling. How can we eliminate this or bundle it up so that it's a package that's reputable for all of us and for the brand? Do we need to get rid of this? Are people not doing this anymore? Like, we need to do a poll. We need to ask the audience, hey, what's going on? Do y'all like this? Do y'all not like this? What can I do better? We need to get real feedback and not feel bad when people give us real feedback. People always feel some type of way when they get constructive criticism, but it's just what it is. Constructive criticism is made for you to upgrade. It's made for you to level up. It's made for you to change some things. We talk about ebooks a little bit, and you say a lot of people putting their face on somebody else's ebook. It's white label, right? So many people are white labeling or taking stuff that's already copyrighted, and I feel like people should enforce their copyrights even more. If you don't know about copyrights, we got a episode,
Yeah, I just wrote
a
two
couple
myself,
shows
and there
back
are
about copyright.
copyrights in it. Yeah, I just
Yes.
wrote two. Mm-hmm.
Yes, even I see people even getting mad because people still like their Facebook statuses and repost it like it's their own. It's
That's
so much.
childish.
It's
That's
so
childish.
much. It's so much that can be going wrong that you can focus on, right? But what are the things that's going right that you can focus on? What are the things that you've done that's made an impact that you can focus on, right? Stop focusing on the little stuff. Because guess what? If you are the person that's leading, if they stealing your statuses, if they stealing your quotes and you see what I'm saying? You're not the
That's
first person
inspiring to me.
that
If they're
exactly. You
feeling
know
my
why?
shit,
Because you giving them the blueprint. That's fine. You could take my stuff. Girl, I'm telling you, I literally saw somebody take like my entire email series, and I'm on the email list. Like, it's crazy.
no,
A'Marie,
see,
it's
to me,
crazy.
I take that as a compliment. I take that as a
It is.
compliment, and
It
it
is.
shows me I must be doing something right. I don't
Exactly.
feel like we should focus on what we can't control. Only focus on things we can control, and that again goes back to mindset.
Exactly. Major key, I always tell my mentees, don't be like me, be better. Because I made the mistakes for you already. So when you come into the picture and I'm giving you the blueprint, you're supposed to run 10 miles further than me because I gave you the blueprint. It's nothing for you to mess up on. I messed up already. If you follow exactly what I'm telling you step by step by step, I'm giving you the cheat sheet to winning at this particular business. Why? Why? Because I'm already winning in this business. I'm literally on my way out. And so you're not my competition anymore in any of these industries that I'm in, right? Because I'm helping you. I'm literally helping people get into this industry so I can head out. I don't want to be the person that's 65, still behind the computer, doing taxes, getting carpal tunnel. I'm not doing that. I'm not, like, seriously. I think that people get so involved with like looking at what you're doing and what you got going. Man, I want to be just like you. No, you don't be like me. I don't want nobody I don't even want my kid to be just like me. I want you to be yourself, and I want you to be better than you were yesterday. Don't focus on being
Exactly.
like me or being like someone else that you admire. It's okay, don't get me wrong, it's totally okay to admire someone. It's totally okay to learn from someone, but make it your own.
Make
Do
it your
your own
own.
thing. Make
There's
it
the
your
key
own.
word.
Do your own thing with it. Man. What tips or tricks do you have for somebody that's trying to get funding, that's been in business for a while, and they have their business structured, they have their bank accounts, they may or may not have their bookkeeping together, but what tips or tricks that you can give them really quick?
I would say as long as your personal credit is good, we're looking at 680 and up FICO score.
Mm-hmm.
and your business credit is established, come see me. I have access to over 80 different funding programs. They're soft credit check only.
Mm-hmm.
But as a whole, it's not hard to get funding. It's really walking into the banks, taking a leap yourself. You do
Right.
the research.
And
It's
building a relationship.
yeah, build the relationships with your banks. Go shake their hands. Go do in-person transactions. Get to know who can give you the money at that point. And like I said, a lot of it is your network, using your resources, using the people around you. It's okay to use people. That's what we do as people, but you need to
Mm-hmm.
utilize each other. That's the difference.
Right. You have to be able to reciprocate. I'm not, listen, we're in the same industry, right? But
Mhm.
we're still able to come together and effectively give an impactful episode to tell people what to do, how to do it, where we went wrong, right? We're letting y'all know, listen, hey, we were in the same position y'all was in, maybe today, maybe a few years ago. We've done it already. We've been the people that say, okay, I like what this person is doing in the credit industry. I like what that person is doing. And you following them, and then you like, this not right. Let me remove myself. That's okay. I might be for you one day, and a few months later, I'm not for you no more. Right? It's up to you. You can always change your mind. You can always change your industry. You can always change your path. I literally never thought that I would stop being in the bakery industry, right? Because my food good. I already know that off the top. We from New Orleans. I know my
I
food
need
good. I
some.
know my
I
bakery
love
goods is
food.
good. But I'm very passionate about numbers. I already knew from the jump. That's why I got my accounting degree. I knew I was going to be in the tax industry. I knew I was going to be in the accounting world and the financial, but I didn't know that I was going to be able to impact other people's lives to help them make six figures. I didn't know that I was going to be able to impact other people's lives to help them grow their empires. I didn't know which way I was going to get to that purpose. I just knew, look, this is what I like to do. And I started doing it, but more people started asking me more and more questions. So I had to develop into that person that
Right.
was reputable, right? I couldn't still be the same person that they knew that was baking cakes, because the person that bake your cakes not just automatically gonna start doing your taxes, right? I
Right.
couldn't just take my email list from my bakery and say, hey, I can now do your taxes. I couldn't do that. And so I had to transition into, hey, I'm no longer at the bakery. I'm no longer, I no longer have the bakery, but however, I can still help you monetize your business. I can still help you build up your credit. Why? Because I built my credit score up from 489. I built my husband's credit score up. I wrote a book about it. I documented it. You can look at my page and see over the years how I've actually built my businesses and built my brands up. I didn't have a personal brand before. So my business and my personal brand kind of was meshing together for a long time until I said, you know what, I am a personal brand, because I was getting booked by myself without the business. So I had to kind of like niche that down and see who is my target audience for me, like for myself, my personal brand versus for my business. Who is my target audience for my business? Then I also had to get my existing clients to understand, hey, the business is built. You don't have to see my face in order for you to support my business. If you support me, support my business. You don't have to see my face. You don't have to come to me as your tax professional just because you want to support Carter Capital. If you support Carter Capital, then support Carter Capital. If you support the podcast, then share it. Send it to an entrepreneur that needs to hear this. Send it to somebody that's telling you that they're discouraged in business. Send it to somebody that needs to hear other women in a powerful place, right? Don't just hold all the information to yourself or feel like, oh, well, I'm just keeping this to my. Now you being a gatekeeper. We don't want gatekeepers.
Yeah, no gatekeepers. We want women. I mean, me personally, I want women around me that can empower me,
Mm-hmm.
inspire me, and motivate. And I want to be able to do the same. I want to be able to pour into people's cups, but I want my cup poured back into.
Absolutely. You don't want to be drained. You don't want to be burnt out, because burnout is real. And so is imposter syndromes. Two very, very good points that we had to make today. And also gatekeeping is one thing that we do not do. If you follow myself or A'Marie, you'll see that we give so many gems. We do so much stuff for free. And then we also have stuff that we do for a fee. Like if you support somebody, you'll do it. You'll show up to what they're doing for free or for a fee, right? Because you're supporting them. I shouldn't have to beg you. I shouldn't have to lower my price. I shouldn't have to give a discount, a blowout sale every time I need support, right? Because now
Exactly.
you're coming up as the desperate business owner. I need to make X amount of dollars, so I only have 10 spots for this particular, no, we're not doing that. This is my price. This is the value of it. And this is what the results of it. This is what the return on investment is going to be if you invest in this.
That's one
Simple.
thing I always tell people as
Mhm.
a business owner, set your price and stick to it. Do not
Mhm.
devalue yourself to meet other people's budgets, because I know this could go into a whole nother podcast, but people spend their money on what they want to spend their money on. Just
Yep.
like people spend time with who they want to spend time with. I'm very big on this year not forcing anything. I'm not forcing relationships. I'm not forcing connections. I'm not forcing friendships. I'm not forcing any of that. I am literally letting everything flow. So if you can't afford me, then you're just not my client, or you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this year I made a standard that you had to have a 680 credit score, or you had to be in there were like two or three, I believe I'm going to add, one-on-one programs or group mentorships, because if you don't have the credit, I really can't assist you how you think I can. All these no PG dreams, they're not real. So as you grow, you do realize who has to go, and that's speaking from personal experience. And one thing I'll let anyone know, just as a word of advice as you grow, the people that want a discount, the people that feel entitled because they've quote unquote been there, get rid of them. They don't
Mhm.
support you. They think that, they could get a discount just because they've known you your whole life. And like you, I started out trying to help everyone and for
Mhm.
free. For
Mhm.
free. If I go back to my journey of really just trying to help people and putting myself out there, $50 a week for budgeting and trying to help you do
Right.
money management. That was just, and then, I've grown to phenomenal numbers at this point, but I have strategically set myself up like that. I don't want everybody, I don't want to
Right.
help everybody. So I do design my programs with a lot of value. But yeah, as you grow, you definitely realize who has to go. And I leave it at that.
So talk to us about your programs.
So my biggest program, my signature program, is definitely my CRA one-on-one program. It's very, very, very personalized. I'm going to be doing a live launch all this month. I will be doing that 4 times a year now. It is a program designed off of consumer law consulting. That alone is another topic. It's using the laws against the laws. We're
Right.
using, we're not doing the standard credit repair. We're doing consumer law consulting. So we're able to get anything negative affecting off. I have all the tools and resources to establish it and rebuild as well, including trade lines, authorized users, self credit tools, and then also one thing that does set me aside from most is we can get remedy. So if they have violated you, $1,000 minimum of a violation. That's, like I said, this could be a whole nother podcast. But that is what our focus is. Our focus is to get your credit report into an A status. What I mean by that is your credit profile is made up of payment history, inquiries. There's a lot of different factors. That's all in my free credit. It's like a quick ebook. It's through funnels and automations. So I'll
Mhm.
tell you one thing: funnels and automations work.
Another gym.
Yeah, funnels and automations work as a business owner. It definitely introduces the soft life. I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous. You're doing great.
But in a nutshell, it's very, very personalized. You will meet with me or someone from my team once or twice a month. It's like I said, it's a program designed to help you. We're touching on financial literacy, money management, budgeting, and all of that factors into getting a credit A profile. Everybody can have a 700, but do you have a strong 700? Are you going to get those approvals? No problem. A lot
Right.
of also adding to when you said business funding. Business funding is really putting all the debt under your personal name under your business. That's what you want to do. You want to get all that so your utilization is not high under
Mhm.
your personal and it's all under your business. Figuring out what banks you can get without getting too many inquiries. That's a whole nother conversation too. But
So
you
what's your top two
three
banks?
inquiry, or you can get one inquiry and get three pulls
Three
for
cards.
different
Right.
companies.
I'm not
Come
sure I
on.
understand.
Oh,
What would be your top two banks, top two or three banks that you would say?
I would say Navy Fed is burnt out.
Yes, they use me. Y'all ran every federal into the ground. I gotta say it.
Yeah,
But
but
Fed is
I
good
have
in
been.
my experience.
Oh yeah, I'm affiliated with a program though that does all types of business funding, so that's
Mhm.
my go-to. I do, and we have over 80 different programs. But Chase, you can always get a lot from Chase. Chase is a great business bank account. I can't really say anything. JP Morgan, they're one of the biggest industries out there.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of help and resources. And really credit unions as well. Like I said, there's a lot of credit unions that if you do certain steps, you could get $100,000 in funding very quickly. It's really building relationships, building deposits, and building rapport with the bank.
So for me, and then we're gonna pivot because we're going over, but I definitely want to play our quick game too. But for me, I always tell people to make sure that they're not commingling funds. Make sure you're separating business from personal, but still have a relationship. If you have a relationship with your bank while you're banking with them personally, you're not getting NSFs, you're not getting bank checks bouncing, anything like that.
Right.
You can build a relationship with them and then let them
No
know, hey,
quick rich schemes.
I have a business venture that I'm seeking to do, right? And I need your guys' help. I don't know anything about business. Your bank is gonna tell you about all of the programs and things that they have available, lines of credit, all kind of stuff that you can get from your bank just from talking to them. Don't just go in there and open your bank. Don't just open a bank account online. Go in and physically speak with someone. Figure out who the branch manager is. Figure out who the business banker is. Figure out who the funding specialist is at that bank because they can help you outside of what A'Marie does and what I do, right? They can help you specifically based on what your income is coming into this business. They can help you with your bookkeeping, keeping up with your stuff, making sure that you link your business bank accounts to your QuickBooks, making sure that if you are a business owner and you're structured properly, that you're paying yourself, making sure that your business is making enough income to actually pay yourself. But that we could go into it and spit a whole nother podcast, like you said, a whole nother masterclass. I don't know, maybe we need to link up. But definitely you need to pay attention to the moves that you make in your personal life because financially, whatever you do personally, you're gonna do it professionally. It's not gonna just say, oh, I got more money, now I can manage. No, you can't. You have to manage little before you can manage a lot.
Yeah, you have to be able to manage and then you have to be able to multiply. But that's why I said those are the steps in wealth building, definitely.
Yes, manage and
And
multiply.
my number one advice would be ask, don't assume. And that's just in life. If you don't know, ask someone, find out, figure it out. Don't assume ever. As soon as a client or a mentee tells me, I thought I should have did this, that's what I'm here for. You should have asked me.
You should have asked. Please ask. Please. We are here to answer your questions. Don't just assume because you know what they say when you assume.
And don't assume anybody knows anything until you do your own research. Do your due
Exactly.
diligence and DD.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so let's play a game. Let's shift right quick.
Okay.
Quick game of this or that. I don't know if you heard of it before, but this or that is a game that we play. You have to choose one or the other. Some may be hard decisions for you. Some might be easy, like, oh, I already know this is how I feel about that. Right. So my first question for you is, would you prefer to be respected or feared?
Respected.
Respected. Most of my guest podcast hosts always say respected. Nobody really wants to be feared, but somehow people still fear them or like have you know how you get starstruck when you see somebody and you're like, oh my God, it's you, and you just like, what's up?
That happened to me and it was just so weird. I'm like, I'm
It's
just a
weird.
person.
I'm just a person.
This is
Everybody is just a person, no matter how many millions they got, how many millions they don't have. If they're a celebrity, they're still a person. Everybody is
exactly a
still.
celebrity to me is only someone with status and money.
That's
So
it. There's still people. There's
there's
still
still people.
millionaires
I
committing
never been one
suicide,
of those
right?
charges.
We have to think about that. There are people. They have feelings. They all of the same things that we have. They just have a little bit more money. So,
Mm-hmm.
anywho, next question. So, when we're traveling, would you prefer to go to somewhere where it snows or go to the beach?
Beach.
Flight
I
or
am,
cruise?
yes, I am a water baby to the max. I love the water. I love the sun. I was supposed to be in Florida, but I met someone and I'm in Atlanta now, but I love
Oh,
the sun.
you was
Love
in
the
Florida for a
water.
little while. Where were you before?
Michigan.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Never again. Never again. I mean, it's always going to be home, but it's just not for me.
And listen,
I
I was
have big
literally listening to
dreams.
a
Okay,
podcast earlier, and it
can't
was like
accomplish those dreams there. It's too
your hometown can kill you. Like for being successful, you can't be too successful. Like, oh, I'm glad you're doing something, but now it's like, oh, she thinks she all that. So it's so many different things about leaving your hometown. You could probably be hindering yourself from being successful just staying in your hometown because you staying here for your family. You don't talk to your family. You don't see your family every day. You don't do Sunday dinner at Big Mama's house. So why are you still staying here? You can make it on your own. It's already just you and your kids. It's already just you and your man. So why won't you move out of town? You can always come back and visit your family if they're that important to you, right? Which everybody's family should, because for me, it's family over everything. My family lives very close proximity to me, but my immediate family. But at the same time, once my daughter graduates, I'm gone. I'm not gonna stay in my hometown just to say, oh, I'm from New Orleans. I'm still gonna always be from New Orleans, but I'm gonna see the world. I might be living internationally at that point. So it's so many different things that I already have planned out for myself. I'm not just going on these trips to go on these trips. I'm going to see where I'm gonna be living at when I retire. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. We're
You
trying to
know
live life and enjoy it.
exactly. I'm not sticking
All
up.
we're trying to do is get rich and enjoy life because
Enjoy life.
people just forget
Listen,
we all are going to leave one day.
living. Somebody asked me about balance, right? Somebody said, "What is balance? Like, how do you balance being a mom, being a wife, being she does extracurricular activities. You help coach and you do this, and you always on the point." And I'm like, I'm not. I'm not always on point. I'm not one of those people that's gonna already tell you I'm always on point. I'm listen, I went over in the gym today, so I'm late. I wasn't late for the podcast, but I didn't get time to get dressed. And I didn't want to be late because I'm not gonna be a late person, right? So
Right.
guess what? This is what you get. But at the same time, that's the example of listen, life be life. And sometimes you ain't gonna always get everything that you want to get at that moment or at that time, right? Everything is not gonna look pretty and prompt. But sometimes you have to make sure that you're able to pivot. Everybody don't think about it like that. They're just like, oh my God, how you just balance everything? Balance is not a real thing. Like you're never gonna balance it all. No matter how many schedules you have, no matter how much stuff you have written down, you're never gonna hit everything
Nothing
on your
is ever
to-do list.
perfect.
Never. It's never gonna be like that. So everybody needs to kind of get that out their mind. You have to just live. I
And you
live in
have
a
to start
moment and I don't
somewhere.
let obstacles slow me down or stop me from doing something. Yes, I might feel bad. Like we said, I'm human. I'm a person. I have feelings. I do feel bad about certain things. I do feel like my friend died literally last Sunday. That does not mean I get to stop everything that I'm doing. That does not mean that the people that's depending on me, you know what I'm saying? I could just say, oh, look, not today. You can't depend on me today. Go depend on somebody else.
That's
You
that
can't do that.
mindset.
You
I'm
cannot
telling
do
you.
that.
Because nobody talks about that depression as a CEO, but you just got to keep going.
Yep.
You have to keep
You have
going.
to keep going. It's no other option. You have to keep going. Like, what is it? What happens if you stop? Everybody that's following you is gonna stop because they waiting on you to make your next move.
Momentum, consistency. That's the balance. Momentum and consistency. And like I said, as you grow, you get real selfish, and a lot of people take it personally. But the people that love you and always loved you for you, they'll understand.
Absolutely. And then, like you said, the other ones they're gonna fall off.
Fall off right off the cliff.
Oh man. Okay, so I got like
Dismissed, not missed.
four more questions for the game. So I said no, flight or cruise.
Flight or cruise? I've never been on a cruise, but I
Oh my
love
God.
flying. I love flying, and at one point, I wanted to be a flight attendant. But I think as I've gotten older, I'm like, I can't do this on my back. But yeah, I still don't have children, so I've always just been a very adventurous person. But I love flying. I love it. I even love the turbulence. Like it's just fun.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, what about
But I want to try a cruise.
I
I
like
want to try
cruises,
one.
but I prefer to fly because I'm gonna get there like this. What about girls' night or date night?
Date night. I love my quality time with my man, definitely.
You're gonna
I'm
keep the girls on the side.
I'm a very passionate person, so I really feel like I love just as passionately, and I get that energy I love with my man. But I love girls' night too. You know,
We
it's
gotta pick
sometimes
one, A'Marie.
okay. Date night, date night.
A'Marie said date night, and y'all know, if y'all know, y'all know. So date night for me.
It's date night. I mean, because if we love our man, we want to be with a man. That's
Period.
what we need. My girls hate that though.
Mine too. Mine too. What about dream house or dream car?
I don't know because I'm gonna have both. So
Definitely.
I would say because I'm not really looking to buy a house to live in. I'm gonna be, my long term vision is corporate real estate development investor.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really feel like dream house is a good answer, but I don't feel like dream car is because I'm gonna have both. I'm gonna have both, but I guess dream car.
I think dream car too because I feel like my end goal ultimately is to be a nomad. So I don't want to have a stamped address. I'm gonna just travel the world. I don't want to be stuck in one place. I'm never gonna have a
Yeah,
30-year
and the
mortgage.
vision I
I'm not
have
doing that.
for dream car is really like my own parking garage of cars. I love cars. Like I love cars.
That's what I'm saying. Think big.
My weakness is Audis, definitely. I used to sell Audis in 2016, so I
Mhm,
really know Audis. But
mhm.
I've had quite a few of Audis. I've had a Mercedes. I've rented BMWs. I've never been a big BMW person. I don't know if I haven't gotten in the higher caliber of what I should get, but yeah, a parking garage. So I would just have to say dream car.
I wasn't a big BMW fan. Surprisingly, I've had three now, so I don't know how I get
That's
into
why I
the
said I
BMW.
think I really only tried the sedans. Maybe I need to get up.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a SUV girl, and that was my next question: sedan or SUV?
Uh, convertible, more like.
Okay, you
Yeah,
fancy.
yeah. I'm very
You like
luxury,
the fast
fancy,
cars.
high maintenance. Yeah, but
I
I
love it.
mean, I really like sedans because that's all I need.
Yeah,
But
because
I
it's
want a
just you.
convertible. I want the S5 convertible.
Y'all heard her. Y'all got to give my girl an S5. Y'all heard that, right?
Audi S5 convertible under the business credit.
Period.
That's
I
on the
can't wait
goal.
to see it. I can't wait to see it. Okay, so my last question for you is, can you give us one word to describe where you are right now?
Determined.
Determined. I love that. Thank you so much,
Thank you so
A'Marie,
much
for
for
being a
having
guest
me.
co-host on Convos podcast. This was a live episode, so you did great. Don't feel don't feel
I'm
nervous.
sweating. But I did
Don't
just
feel
want to let
nervous.
them know that I
Mhm,
did launch a CRA affiliate program. So
mhm.
anybody who is looking to make money with me, you can get paid for referrals now. I did launch my book series recently in the Love Your Credit Again campaign. And all of that is on my page. I hope to see you on social media.
Tell
And
them your page one more
met
time.
me through her, please let me know. I like to keep track of where my referrals come from. Thank you
Tell
for
them
having
tell them
me.
your page one more time, E.
It is my name on the screen. I don't know if they can see that, but it's A
Mhm.
apostrophe Marie and then my last name VonDeak. I used to not use my last name, but everyone's like, use it. It's so unique.
It
So
is. Definitely use it. Make sure y'all follow A'Marie VonDeak on all platforms as well as Dricka M. Carter on all platforms and our podcast, Comma Convos Podcast on all platforms. We appreciate you guys for listening and tuning in. Make sure you share with another entrepreneur that is trying to get where we are. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Have a great day.